The air was electric with laughter and chatter, the kind that fills your backyard on special occasions. It was our 5th anniversary, a milestone in what I considered a pretty perfect marriage. Alex and I were the kind of couple friends envied in love, best friends, partners in crime. As we cut into our anniversary cake, surrounded by friends and family, I remember thinking, this is it, the perfect life. But, life has a funny way of throwing curveballs when you're not looking. Our Sundays were sacred, just me and Alex, exploring the wilderness, away from the buzz of our daily lives. It was on one of these hikes, amidst the tranquility of nature, that we really connected, sharing everything from work woes to future dreams. Those moments felt like we were the only two people in the world, a feeling I thought would last forever. Then came the concert. Surprising Alex with tickets to see his favorite band was a trip down memory lane, back to where we first met. Singing along to those familiar tunes, I felt that old spark flare up, bright and warm. It was magical, a reminder of our younger, carefree selves, deeply in love. But, magic, as they say, can be an illusion. A casual dinner with friends soon veered into a discussion on modern relationships. Maybe it was the wine, or perhaps the nostalgia of the concert, but I found myself flirting with danger, suggesting an open marriage. It was meant as a joke, a wild idea we'd laugh off the next day. Only, we didn't. A week later, the idea, once a fleeting thought, took root. This time, our conversation was serious, deliberate. I mistook Alex's silence for agreement, a mutual curiosity to explore this new adventure. We laid out rules, naive in our belief that it would bring us closer, that our love was unshakable. Emboldened, I dove headfirst into this new experience, creating an online profile, a gateway to this uncharted territory. I kept Alex in the loop, confident in our foundation, certain he would share his adventures too. Then he met Eva. Hearing about Eva for the first time, something shifted. Alex, my Alex, was different. He spoke of an immediate connection, a spark with someone else. It was a jolt, a stark realization that maybe, just maybe, I had made a monumental mistake. As I lay in bed that night, the laughter and warmth of our anniversary party seemed like a distant memory. The once comforting silence between us now felt heavy, charged with unspoken truths and the weight of a decision that could unravel the very fabric of our marriage. The moment Alex walked through the door, later than usual, I knew something was off. The air between us, once filled with easy laughter and shared secrets, had shifted, becoming tense, like the calm before a storm. He was more guarded, eyes darting away too quickly, and his phone, usually left carelessly around the house, had become an extension of his hand, guarded like a treasure. "Work's been crazy," he muttered, brushing off my concern with a half-hearted smile. But the pieces didn't fit. His job had always been demanding, yet it never seeped into our home like this, a silent intruder stealing away his presence. Then, one evening, as his phone lit up on the kitchen counter, curiosity overcame me. A message from Eva, glowing against the screen, held words too intimate, too private. They spoke of shared moments and laughter, a connection that went beyond friendly banter. My heart raced, betrayal slicing through me sharper than any blade could. Confronting him was inevitable. "Who is Eva?" My voice barely above a whisper, yet it cut through the silence with the weight of my shattered trust. Alex, caught in the headlights of my accusation, faltered. His confession, a tangled web of feelings for her yet assurances of love for me, left me reeling. How had we gotten here? Was our foundation so frail? In a desperate bid to claw back what was slipping through my fingers, I suggested marriage counseling. "Maybe we can figure this out," I hoped aloud, more to myself than to him. Yet, session after session peeled back layers, revealing not solutions but deeper chasms of individuality pulling us apart. Alex's absences grew, nights spent away under the guise of work emergencies. The emptiness of our home echoed my own hollow heart, pushing me to seek solace among my students, burying myself in lesson plans and grading papers, anything to drown out the silence. I planned a surprise weekend getaway, a desperate attempt to stitch back together the fraying edges of our relationship. Yet, as the day approached, Alex canceled, citing an unavoidable project. The disappointment stung, a bitter reminder of the growing distance between us. Loneliness gnawed at me, driving me to reconnect with an old acquaintance from my brief foray into online dating. But as we sat across from each other, the realization hit hard. It wasn't companionship I sought but a phantom of the connection I missed with Alex. Each laugh, every shared glance, felt like a betrayal, not to him but to the love I still harbored, a love that seemed increasingly unreciprocated. The journey through our unraveling was a path paved with confusion and longing, each step a move away from the life we had built and towards an uncertain future. The simplicity of our love, once taken for granted, now felt like a distant memory, leaving me to wonder if it could ever be reclaimed. The moment I heard through the grapevine that Alex and Eva had flaunted their relationship at a public event, parading around as if they were the picture-perfect couple, something inside me shattered. The news came like a sucker punch, leaving me gasping for air, my heart sinking into an abyss of betrayal. It wasn't just rumors anymore, it was real, and it was happening right before my eyes, displayed for the world to see. I was torn between a desperate need to confront him and the crushing weight of reality setting in. This wasn't just a fling, it was serious. When I finally mustered the courage to demand answers, to ask him where we stood in this tangled mess we called our marriage, Alex's hesitation spoke volumes. The man who once promised to choose me every day now stood at a crossroads, unable to decide between the life we had built together and this new infatuation. In a frantic attempt to claw back some semblance of the love we once shared, I orchestrated a dinner with our closest friends, a mirror of our happier times. I thought, maybe, just maybe, the nostalgia would remind him of what we had. But as the night wore on, the painful truth emerged through Alex's reluctant admission: he was in love with Eva. The words hit me like a physical blow, each syllable a nail in the coffin of our marriage. The decision to separate came all too quickly after that, as if we were both going through the motions, detached and numb. Alex packed his things, and with every item he took, a piece of our life together was stripped away, leaving behind a hollow shell of memories. Our conversations, once filled with dreams and laughter, were now reduced to cold, clinical exchanges about who would keep the coffee maker. I found myself wandering through our favorite spots, each visit a tortuous walk down memory lane, where the ghost of our past lingered. The park where we picnicked under the stars, the cafe where we scribbled plans for the future on napkins, they all whispered tales of a love that once was. The realization that I was alone in these memories, that Alex had moved on, was a pill too bitter to swallow. And then, the unavoidable happened. Alex and Eva's relationship, once a secret shared in hushed tones, exploded onto social media. Pictures of them together, smiling, carefree, a stark contrast to the solitude that had become my constant companion. I tried to ignore it, to pretend it didn't affect me, but each post, each comment, felt like a knife twisting deeper into my heart. The final blow came unexpectedly at a school event, where I ran into them. The awkwardness of that encounter, the forced politeness, and the thinly veiled tension were almost too much to bear. I watched as they interacted with others, a perfect unit, while I stood on the sidelines, a spectator to my own demise. The realization that I had become a stranger to the man I once knew intimately was a sobering thought, a reminder of how far we had drifted apart. In those moments, surrounded by the remnants of what used to be, I understood the true extent of my loss. Not just of Alex, but of the life, the dreams, and the future we had envisioned together. It was a bitter pill, laced with the harsh truth that sometimes, love alone isn't enough to keep two people together. The moment I heard Alex's voice on the other end of the line, a wave of desperation crashed over me. "Can we talk?" I found myself asking, the words slipping out before I could catch them. The silence that followed felt like an eternity, his hesitant, "yes," echoing in my ears long after the call ended. We met at our old favorite cafe, the one that had witnessed the beginning of us. Now, it stood as a stark reminder of everything we'd lost. Alex was there, looking every bit the man I'd fallen in love with, yet so distant, as if a chasm had opened up between us. Our conversation was a dance of avoidance, filled with trivialities that did nothing to bridge the gap. It was clear, he was moving on, and I was clinging to a past that no longer existed. In the aftermath, I threw myself into my work, channeling my energy into a new project, a book club for my students. It was a distraction, yes, but it soon grew into something more. The club became a success, bringing me a sense of accomplishment and belonging that had been missing from my life. Yet, with every new achievement, the absence of Alex to share it with cast a shadow over my joy. The final nail in the coffin was overhearing colleagues whisper about Alex and Eva's plans to move in together. The news hit me like a physical blow, forcing me to confront the reality I'd been avoiding. We were over, truly over. Determined to reclaim my life, I decided to renovate our house. It was a therapeutic process, stripping away the layers of our shared past to create a space that reflected who I was now, alone but resilient. Old photos and mementos surfaced, each a reminder of what we had shared. I kept a few, a nod to the good times, but the rest I discarded, a symbolic gesture of moving on. Then came the call from Alex, a formality to finalize our divorce papers. We met, the atmosphere sterile, our interactions mechanical. There was a politeness to our exchanges, a far cry from the warmth and intimacy that once defined us. As we signed the papers, a sense of finality settled over me. This was it. The end of our story, marked not by dramatic farewells but by the quiet turning of a page. As I walked away, I realized that this wasn't just an ending but also a beginning. The pain of our parting would linger, but in its wake, I found a resilience I didn't know I possessed. The journey ahead would be mine alone, a path of rediscovery and, perhaps, one day, of new love. But for now, I was content to embrace the solitude, finding strength in the quiet spaces Alex had left behind. The moment I stepped into the dimly lit gallery, the world outside seemed to pause, a stark contrast to the whirlwind my life had become. Surrounded by canvases whispering tales of love and loss, I felt a silent camaraderie with strangers who had poured their souls onto these walls. It was here, amidst the abstracts and portraits, that I sought closure, a balm for wounds still fresh. Then, as if on cue, my phone buzzed, a message from a friend with news that twisted the knife a little deeper. Alex and Eva were engaged. The words on the screen blurred as reality sank in. This was the life I had envisioned with Alex, now irrevocably his future with someone else. The ache of loneliness was sharp, a stark reminder of the divide between the life I led and the one I had dreamed of. Driven by a newfound resolve, I threw myself into my work, pushing boundaries with innovative teaching methods that caught the attention of the school board. Recognition followed, a bittersweet victory in the absence of someone to share it with. Yet, it was a stepping stone, leading me to an opportunity that would change everything, a workshop at a national education conference. It was there I met Liam, another educator with a fire for change that matched my own. Our connection was immediate, undeniable, but the scars of my past held me back. I was wary of letting anyone in, afraid to navigate the vulnerability of new beginnings. Working alongside Liam on a collaborative project, our relationship deepened, evolving from professional respect to a tentative friendship. His understanding and patience became a steady presence, challenging the walls I had built around my heart. The decision to confront my feelings for Liam didn't come easily. The fear of history repeating itself was a constant shadow, but there was also a glimmer of hope, a chance for something real. In a moment of honesty, I shared my fears with Liam. His response, filled with empathy and patience, was a beacon in the uncertainty that had become my constant companion. This chapter of my life, marked by upheaval and transformation, was a testament to resilience. It was a journey of rediscovering myself, learning to embrace the possibility of love after loss, and the strength found in vulnerability. The phone buzzed with an unexpected invitation, its contents slicing through the calm of an ordinary Thursday like a cold draft. There it was, in elegant script, an invitation to Alex and Eva's wedding. A cruel reminder of a life that was once mine, now reduced to a spectator's role in my own story. I stared at it, the weight of the paper in my hand disproportionate to its actual size, a tangible symbol of my replaced position in Alex's life. Without a second thought, I marked, decline. Liam, with his understanding eyes, simply squeezed my hand. We planned our day together, far from the remnants of my past life. With Liam, I rediscovered joy in shared interests and mutual respect, contrasting sharply with the tumultuous end of my marriage. Our relationship, blooming amidst the wreckage of my past, became a testament to the possibility of a second chance at love. Discussions of a future together filled me with a cautious hope, a delicate balance between the scars of the past and the promise of tomorrow. When Alex reached out, his voice laced with regret over the phone, it felt like opening a book to a chapter I had already read. His apologies, seeking absolution for the pain caused, no longer held the power they might once have. Listening to him, I realized the full extent of my journey, not just moving on but moving forward. There was no bitterness, only a profound sense of closure, a confirmation that the path I was on was meant for me. Liam and I took a trip together, exploring new cities, immersing ourselves in the unknown. Each shared moment, each new memory laid the foundation for a future I had once thought impossible. Freedom and happiness coursed through me, a vivid contrast to the confinement of my previous life. Gratitude filled my heart, not just for a second chance at love, but for the strength found in the face of adversity. Building a new life with Liam wasn't without its challenges. Doubts crept in, shadows of the past threatening to darken the bright future we were building. Yet, each obstacle was met with a resilience forged through my experiences. My past, with its trials and tribulations, had not weakened me, it had built a foundation stronger than I had ever realized. My professional life flourished alongside my personal one, earning a promotion that marked not just a milestone in my career but in my journey of self-recovery. Celebrating with Liam and friends, I couldn't help but reflect on the winding path that had led me here. Each step, each stumble, had been necessary, guiding me towards this moment of contentment and achievement. This chapter of my life, unwritten and unplanned, unfolded with a clarity and purpose I had never known. The narrative had shifted, no longer a tale of loss and betrayal, but one of growth, love, and resilience. My story, once veiled in uncertainty, now radiated with the promise of new beginnings and endless possibilities. The whispers reached me like a slow-moving storm, inevitable yet still surprising. "Have you heard about Alex and Eva?" a friend hinted, her voice a mixture of curiosity and concern. Part of me fluttered with a sense of vindication, a shallow victory in the complex game of love and loss. Yet, as I sat there, absorbing the news of their marital strife, a wave of unexpected empathy washed over me. Relationships, I realized, were a labyrinth of emotions and choices, none immune to the trials that had once capsized my own. In the warmth of our home, Liam and I decided to host a dinner party, a celebration that marked more than just new beginnings. It was a mosaic of my life's journey, each guest representing a chapter of resilience and recovery. The laughter and stories shared around the table illuminated the room, a tangible reminder of the support network that had been my anchor through the stormiest nights. Inspired by my journey and the conversations that night, I decided to channel my experiences into a blog. Writing became my solace, a place to unravel the threads of love, loss, and the painstaking journey towards healing. Each post was a piece of my heart, laid bare for the world to see, a beacon for others navigating their own tumultuous seas. To my surprise, the blog resonated with readers far and wide. Messages of support and gratitude flooded in, each one affirming the power of shared stories to heal and connect. It was a reminder that out of my darkest moments could come light and understanding for others. Then came the unexpected message from Alex, a request veiled in casualness: "Let's catch up over coffee." The invitation hung in my inbox, a ghost from the past reaching into my present. Yet, the decision was simple. I declined, choosing to honor the peace I had fought so hard to find in the future I was building with Liam. Moving in with Liam was a leap of faith, a step into a shared future that both exhilarated and terrified me. Our lives intertwined, each day a blend of mundane moments and shared dreams, a testament to the love that had blossomed from the ashes of my past. The school reunion brought its own set of challenges, a confrontation with a past life and the person I once was. Questions about Alex were inevitable, yet they no longer had the power to wound. My answers were a reflection of the journey I had undertaken, a narrative of growth, resilience, and newfound happiness. The final confrontation, however, was not with Alex or the ghosts of my past, but with myself. Standing in the home I shared with Liam, I reflected on the path that had led me here. There was no dramatic conclusion, no final showdown with the past. Instead, there was a quiet acknowledgement of the woman I had become, molded by experiences both bitter and sweet. My story was not one of defeat but of transformation, a testament to the strength found in vulnerability and the power of starting.